Aprende inglés con esta historia animada. Escucha esta historia en inglés con los subtítulos tanto en español como en inglés y desarrolla tu listening skill.
The love of my life. I met Emily at a coffee shop when I was in college. I was there studying for a final exam, and she was there working on a project for her art class. We struck up a conversation and realized we had a lot in common. We started seeing each other regularly and soon fell in love. It was one of those rare, intense love affairs that seemed to come out of nowhere. We were inseparable and spent every free moment together. After we graduated, we decided to move in together and start our lives as a couple. It was the happiest time of my life. We traveled the world, tried new things, and supported each other's dreams. But as time passed, we started to drift apart. We were both so busy with our careers that we barely had time for each other. We started to argue more, and our love seemed to fade. I was heartbroken. I didn't want to lose the love of my life, but I didn't know how to fix things. I tried to be more understanding and patient, but it seemed like nothing was working. One day, Emily came home from work and told me she was leaving. She said she needed some space and time to think. I was devastated, but I knew I had to respect her wishes. I spent the next few weeks trying to figure out how to get her back. I wrote her letters, made her favorite meals, and even bought her a gift. But she seemed distant and uninterested. I was ready to give up hope when Emily called me one day and asked if we could talk. I was nervous but agreed to meet her at the coffee shop where we had first met. When I arrived, she was already there, and she had a small suitcase with her. She told me she had been thinking a lot about our relationship and realized that she still loved me. She said she had been foolish to let her career and other distractions get in the way of our love. I was overjoyed and relieved. I knew that we had a lot of work to do to get our relationship back on track, but I was willing to do whatever it took. We hugged and cried and promised to always put our relationship first. We left the coffee shop together, ready to start a new chapter in our lives. For the next few months, things seemed to be going well. We were more attentive and affectionate with each other, and our love seemed to be stronger than ever. But as time passed, old habits started to resurface. We were both still busy with our careers, and we started to neglect each other again. We argued more and started to grow apart. One day, Emily sat me down and told me that she couldn't do this anymore. She said she loved me, but she needed to focus on herself and her own happiness. She said she was sorry, but she needed to end things. I was devastated, but I knew deep down that she was right. I had let my own career and ambitions get in the way of our relationship, and I had failed to show her the love and attention she deserved. I told her I was sorry and that I would always love her. She said she would always love me too, but that she needed to move on. We parted ways, both heartbroken but knowing that it was for the best. I learned a valuable lesson about the importance of communication and putting my loved ones first. I hope that one day, we could reconnect and repair the damage we had done to our relationship. But for now, it was time to say goodbye. It had been 3 years since Emily and I had last seen each other. We had gone our separate ways after our tumultuous breakup, and I had tried to move on with my life. But I had always hoped that one day we might reconnect and maybe even have a chance to start over. So when I saw her standing in the airport terminal, I couldn't believe my eyes. I froze for a moment, not sure what to do. But then she turned and saw me, and I knew I had to go to her. I walked over, my heart racing, and we stood there for a moment, looking at each other. "Hi, Emily," I said, my voice shaking. "Hi," she replied, a small smile on her lips. "Wow, it's been a while. You look different." "Different how?" I asked, self-consciously adjusting my hair. Well, you've definitely grown a few more chin hairs, she said, grinning. But you still look great. Thanks, I said, feeling a little embarrassed. You look great, too. I see you've been taking good care of yourself. I have, she said, smiling. I've been busy traveling the world and living my best life. And I actually have a boyfriend now. His name is Dan, and I'm headed to see him in Europe. We're in a long-distance relationship, but it's worth it. I felt a wave of sadness wash over me, knowing that I had lost her for good. But I forced a smile and tried to hide my emotions. Oh, I see. Well, I'm happy for you. Are you really? She asked, looking at me with concern. I'm sorry if this is hard for you to hear. I know we had something special, but we both needed to move on with our lives. No, it's fine, I said, trying to sound casual. I'm happy for you, really. I just wish things could have been different. We talked for a while, catching up on everything that had happened in our lives since we last saw each other. It was incredible to see how much we had both grown and changed, and it made me realize just how much I had missed her sarcasm and her ability to make my heart skip a beat. As our conversation came to a close, Emily told me she had to go catch her flight. We hugged again, and I told her how happy I was to see her. Take care of yourself, she said. I'll see you again someday, if you're not too busy wallowing in self-pity or dating someone else. Of course, I said, forcing a smile. I'll be sure to send you postcards from my travels or my dates with my imaginary girlfriend, Rachel. We said our goodbyes, both of us smiling and trying to hide our emotions. I knew that our paths might cross again, but also knowing that it was out of our control. But for now, I was just grateful for the chance to see her again and to remember the love and playful banter we had shared.
Selecciona la respuesta correcta a las siguientes preguntas acerca de la historia que acabas de escuchar. Presta mucha atención.
How does Emily joke about her appearance? A. She has a giant zit on her nose. B. She is too thin. C. She is too heavy. D. She is not attractive. The answer is A. She has a giant zit on her nose. Where did the narrator and Emily first meet? A. At a party. B. At school. C. At a coffee shop. D. Online. The answer is C. At a coffee shop. How did the narrator and Emily feel about each other when they first met? A. They were in love. B. They were indifferent. C. They were attracted to each other. D. They were enemies. The answer is C. They were attracted to each other. How long had it been since the narrator and Emily last saw each other? A. A few months. B. A few years. C. A few decades. D. They had never met before. The answer is B. A few years. What does the narrator do for a living? A. He is a writer. B. He is a lawyer. C. He is a musician. D. He is a chef. The answer is A. He is a writer.